Can a sleep accessory that you add to your mattress really be so life-changing that it justifies a price point of well over $2,000? Well, that's what we're gonna find out in today's video, because we have here the 8 Sleep Pod Cover 3, a sleep product that promises to change your life in almost every way imaginable. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you've already seen some ads, you've done some research, you've probably watched some other videos here on YouTube as well, and you're still not certain if this product is the solution that you're looking for to the issues that you might be having with sleep, or if you're just looking to enhance your sleep. Well, we're gonna help you settle that once and for all, because here at Sleepline, we're sleep specialists. We focus exclusively on sleep, and because of that, we can give you a really detailed look and tell you the good, the bad, the ugly, and dive into the deep, nitty-gritty details and break this down from an unbiased perspective to let you know if this is really a good product worth your hard-earned money, or if it's better left in this review. So, as far as structure goes, first and foremost, we're gonna dive in, we're gonna unbox this product, we're gonna set it up, then I'm gonna sleep on it for 7 days, come back after that. Obviously, you guys won't be here for the whole video. It's just gonna cut right to it instantly, but I'm gonna sleep on it for 7 days, 7 nights, let you know, and give you all the details of the good, the bad, the ugly, so that way you can make the most informed decision possible regarding this product. So, let's get started. So the 8 Sleep comes in this singular box you see here. I was really concerned at first that they did not send me all of the things that I needed, because you can see here on the label it says box 2A and box 2B. See here, they taped the two together, which is wild, but I open them up and it appears to be by design that they tape the two boxes together and then you pull them apart. I feel like there could be better. I mean, the packaging is very, very nice so far, but it's kind of an interesting choice. There's still a lot of tape to get through. Got it open after quite a bit of struggle with the tape, but again, that's because I'm using a butter knife. There are much better options you could use. All right, cool. So let's see what we got here. So this is the cover here. Let's just unzip this guy. Plastic. Warning, avoid danger, don't suffocate. Okay, that doesn't matter, that's on every bag. I don't recommend puncturing your bag with a knife, but I'm a trained professional. So that's our cover. We'll get into that in a little bit, but the more interesting thing is the terminal. So the 8 Sleep comes in 2 boxes. We've kind of established that. One being the 8 pod cover. That's the piece that's gonna go on and around your mattress. It's gonna take this boring looking mattress and make it look a heck of a lot cooler. All right, cool. They even have a little diagram that tells you how to take it out. So probably a good thing. This is probably the part that's actually really expensive. There's like a... Ooh. It feels like a computer. Like, I game a little bit when I have time. I like to think that I do, at least. It literally feels like I'm opening like a whole new desktop PC, and I guess that's kind of cool. Ooh, it looks like a desktop PC. It really does. So this is where the big butts go. You can see how big this thing is. It's notably large. As I understand so far, this is what's pumping and doing pretty much everything. It's the brains, it's everything. There's something else in here. Power cable. Ooh, that's what we're looking for right there. Right here. So this is what we're looking for. This is the 8 Sleep. Your journey starts here. Okay, Sleep is Fitness, got it. Download the app to begin. Okay, cool. We'll do that. Just install it. It's coming down. I'm not sure if they actually have any kind of setup instructions except on the app. One of the things that I have seen in my research of this product is basically everything is on the app. I figured for controls that was where it would be, but I didn't think for setting the thing up. Okay, so the first thing they have you do is once you download the app, they have you create an account. So we do that, we activate the membership. Membership is activated. Which product am I setting up? We're setting up, you can do that, you can do that, you can do more products. We're gonna be setting up the Pod Cover 3, Pod 3, prior generation. We're gonna be doing the Pod 3. Do you have all the boxes? That was where I was worried. I did not think I had all the boxes. Turns out I did. They just taped them together. So this is a big shock. It may take up to 4 hours until your pod is set up. So it may take up to 4 hours to set your pod up, 1 hour to set up the hardware, 3 hours to wait for it to fully set up and gain temperature. Keep the accessories, do not discard the, oh, that's a drain tool. I thought this was like for a plug cover or something because I'm not the brightest at times. This is important. This is a drainage tool. Don't lose this. Okay. Ooh. This thing is cool. This is pretty cool. Now we got to plug it in, which is where this guy comes in handy. So we'll just open this up and we'll do this. Boom. So in this process now, they want us to set the encasement up. I've made a mess of the bed, so let's take care of this. That is a lot of piping. That's pretty intense. But it does give me some peace of mind knowing that it probably won't leak. So that's cool. One thing of note is the instructions are not up to date. Right now I'm on the encasement section and there's mention of tension straps. I looked everywhere in the box. There are no tension straps. There's also no buckles for tension straps. The encasement they're using looks very, very different than the one that I have here. This looks like an old, outdated encasement. This one here, it's really simple. It's basically like putting on a fitted sheet. It's really strong tension. Like it's a real strong elastic band around the entire perimeter of the mattress. You pull that on, you pull it tight, and then you just make sure that the top is flat. You're gonna have to pull a little harder at the top and the bottom of that. But aside from that, I'm not seeing any tension straps. I'll let you know if that changes. First step they have us do is they have us unbox the hub and then plug it in. Real simple. You're not going to do anything else. Then we're putting the encasement on, and then we're going to go into setting up the active grid, which is what circulates all the water. Contains the sensors, it's going to track the biometrics. This is an all-in-one product now. In the past, this has all been, it looks like multiple pieces. It looks like you first set up the grid, then you added the sensors on top. That's not the case here anymore, and that's a really nice thing. One thing I find a little annoying about this product, actually quite annoying, is when you connect the hose to the hub, they say, hey, make sure you don't kink the hose or anything like that. Well, by the nature of how low the connection point for the hose is, it's kind of already kinking it. And then beyond that, it has to basically turn immediately for at least where I've set it up, which is where I think most people would set it up, which is beside their nightstand. And because of that, I have to pull it further away. And I really would love a way to just have this be flush against my wall. Not the case here, can't really do that. Little bummed out there, but anyway, let's continue on. Once you get the cover on, the rest of the setup process is quite simple. All you're gonna do is take the hosing from the back of the 8 Sleep and attach it right into the terminal. From there, you're gonna lift the tank out, fill it with distilled water, put it in, and then open the app. It's that simple. The app is gonna put the 8 Sleep into what is called the priming process, where it basically takes that water, fills up all of the water channels in the bed, and then circulates it a couple of times to make sure that you have no issues. Now that process is lengthy. It does take about 4 hours in time, and you're gonna have to fill the tank again during that process. The good news is though, you don't have to sit there, you don't have to wait for that whole entire process. You can walk away, the app will alert you when it's time to add more water into your tank, which is really, really nice. Now, the process does take 4 hours. So if you wanna use this the very first night you get it, be mindful that you're going to have to wait 4 hours. You can sleep on it while it is in the priming process. That's not going to be terrible. But my experience for the first night with the 8 Sleep, I wouldn't recommend doing that, and I'll tell you why. So overall, the experience sleeping on it my very, very first night, I thought, hey, I usually sleep pretty warm, so let me turn this down. It didn't recommend me turning it down beyond -2, but I thought I sleep really hot, and this thing goes all the way to -10. -5 can't be that much. Turns out it's a lot. It was frigid my first night. It was so cold that I actually had to wake up and leave the bed. I ended up sleeping on the couch for the rest of the night because this thing was just so cold. So you'd think I'd learned my lesson, but the second night I turned it to -3. That was also really cold. I got up, left. Now you can adjust it, and it does adjust throughout the night. We'll get into how all of that works, but I just wanted to mention that part right now because if you're like me, you're probably gonna say, hey, let me cool this down more than it actually needs to be because this thing is way more powerful than I expected. And don't turn it down beyond -2 for your very first night. Even that can be a little bit cold. Unlike any other mattress out there, this bed is actively cooling you down. Even at a 0, this bed is going to continue to cool you down versus your other mattress. And the reason for that is, when you get into any other mattress, what happens with your body heat underneath those covers is often referred to by sleep specialists as a microclimate, and that microclimate continues to warm up throughout the entirety of the night. It's basically a slow trajectory all the way up, even on every cooling mattress that you might get. So because of that, the bed is going to be warmer and warmer and warmer and warmer. If you take that away and the bed just stays flat, which would be the 0 with the 8 sleep, you're still sleeping significantly cooler than any other bed out on the market. And because of that, even a 0 for me is mostly sufficient. I finally dialed it in. I go to -1 and I wake myself up at +5. And what does that really mean? I'll tell you. So the 8 sleep goes from -10, which is very, very cold. I believe it drops it all the way down to 55 degrees Fahrenheit, which I don't know about you. I live in Michigan, so a good picture to show you what this feels like. If you live anywhere where the water gets very, very cold, I live close to the Great Lakes, and if you go into the water in the spring, it's around 55 degrees. It is very, very cold. You get in and within 30 seconds you want to get out of that water. That's how cold this thing can get. I don't know why. I don't think anyone would ever want it to get that cold, but hey, you've got more juice to cool yourself than you're ever gonna need, and that's a good thing. The other side of this coin, this goes all the way up to 105 degrees Fahrenheit, and just so you know, that's about hot tub temperature. So this thing has a massive range for anything you could want. Dialing it in to -5 is freezing, and kicking it up to +5 is really hot. Honestly, if this thing only had a range from -5 to 5, I think that would still be overkill. So on one hand, it's really cool that it can go so much further in terms of both cool and hot. On the other hand, it's way overkill, and if you're like me, you might end up being a little overzealous on your first night, so I don't recommend that. Now, another thing to talk about in terms of your first night's sleep, those channels, those little water channels, you're gonna feel them. You definitely notice that they are there, but not as much as I had thought. It's actually a little bit lesser than maybe like an electric heated blanket. If you've ever used one of those and like laid on it, you can kind of feel the little wires. This here, you're not gonna notice it quite that much, and the reason being is it's kind of connected. It's connected very much like a mesh overall. And then beyond that, they add foam in the mesh openings to create almost like a quilted feel. That's really nice. You do notice it's there, but for me, I got used to it really, really quick. Hey, if you're enjoying this content, if you're getting value out of this video and learning more about sleep, go ahead, do us a huge favor and hit that like and subscribe button below. It really does make a huge difference for us. We give unbiased reviews on a plethora of sleep products here, including mattresses, pillows, mattress toppers, and sleep devices as well, like the one right here. So if you're getting value, or if you're having sleep issues, or you just want to watch more of this content, hit that like and subscribe button. Again, it would mean the world to us. Anyway, let's get back to the video. The other thing to notice and to talk about, especially for your first night's sleep when you're getting prepared for this, there are gonna be some noises. My particular model actually had a slight leak initially, and I could hear it sloshing through one of the pipes. And that's a really, really uncomfortable sound when you're in your bed. So thankfully I reached out to 8 Sleep. All it was I just had to tighten it up a little bit. The O-ring fully sealed itself. It wasn't like a bad leak either, by the way. It was just like slight condensation coming out, and the sloshing sound disappeared. Now, the 8 Sleep itself, it does make a little bit of noise, but the good news about that is it's a low humming noise. It's not like green noise or white noise or whatever thing you might find like that, but I didn't find it disturbing to my sleep. A lot of times these cooling systems can have like a high-pitched squeal to them that's very, very quiet or very loud, depending on what you get. With the 8 Sleep here, it's a low hum, and that's really appreciated. I do sleep with a fan. I turned it off for the first few nights to see if this would disturb me, and it wasn't a problem for me. Now, I do have my fan back on again because I really prefer that to fall asleep, but the whole point of that is that you're not very likely to end up in a situation where this is going to wake you up throughout the night, unless you're like me and turned it way too cold, or if you go the opposite direction and turn it way too hot as well. So if you can't tell by now, my first few nights with the 8 Sleep were a bit of a challenge. Like I said earlier, my very first night, I turned it down to -5. That was way too cold. My next night, -3, also way too cold. Then I got it dialed in beyond that. Another cool thing though, that the 8 Sleep does is there's a feature called autopilot. So basically, as we sleep throughout the night and we enter different sleep cycles and sleep stages, the ambient temperature of our bed actually can have an impact on either helping us to wake up or helping us stay asleep. One issue that I had before getting the 8 sleep is I often would wake up around 2:30 at night and I'd stay awake for about 30, 45 minutes just trying to fall back asleep, tossing, turning, whatever. And it's consistently actually been a challenge for me lately. I don't know if it's because I'm always reviewing a different mattress so my body's confused or whatnot, but it is something that I've been struggling with, and it's a problem. I didn't think the 8 sleep would solve that issue, but it actually did. And that for me is huge. Back to autopilot. The ambient temperature adjusts throughout the night based on what your body's needs are. What you need to understand is how we sleep. So our sleep cycle consists of 4 stages. There is stage 1 sleep, which is really you're basically still here. Your eyes might be closed. You're a bit aware of what's going on. So if I say your name or make a loud noise, like, it's gonna wake you up. You're gonna be right back with me. So that's kind of nodding off, maybe something like this. Okay, that's a little silly. But anyway, that's the very, very beginning of your sleep cycle. Then you go into stage 2 sleep. Stage 2, you're basically out. You're not dreaming. Normal noises going on around you are not gonna disturb you or really wake you up, but a loud noise might, something like that. Like, my name's Ethan. If I was in stage 2, somebody could say, Ethan, and I would wake up, or a light tap might wake me up as well. Beyond that, you enter into stage 3, or what is known as deep sleep. So deep sleep is what most people commonly refer to as sleep. Stage 1 and 2, it's like, hey, you're dozing off, not necessarily like you were actually asleep. Deep sleep, that's where your heart rate drops, you're completely out. Disturbing you and waking you up may be hard or maybe prove to be a little bit difficult. And then at the very bottom of that is something called REM sleep. It's REM, stands for rapid eye movement. Now, we don't understand what REM sleep is. All we know is that this is when we dream. This is when we believe our bodies rejuvenate and restore ourselves. Now, a whole sleep cycle is 90 minutes if it's undisturbed. The bottom 15 minutes are REM. So basically it looks like a curve. Like you go down, you're into deep sleep, and then you go down into REM, and then you come all the way back up into stage 1 again. This is when most people are gonna wake up in the middle of the night or when they're gonna have any kind of issues. If you struggle with insomnia, which I guess I struggle a little bit with insomnia since I'm waking up almost every night, that's what's happening. It might happen after the first cycle, it might happen after the 3rd cycle. For a full night's sleep, you need 4 full sleep cycles. If that was completely undisturbed, it would take you 6 hours and you'd be super rejuvenated. But we all know the reality is anytime you toss, you turn, anytime you get up to go to the bathroom, you kick yourself right back up to 1 and begin that sleep cycle again. So any disturbance at night is going to increase the length of time that you need to actually get a well-rested night's sleep. So the whole thing for a lot of people is our body, as we go back up to 1, it becomes more sensitive to temperature. It becomes more sensitive to pressure. It becomes more sensitive to pretty much anything that might disturb you, and that's when you wake up. The most common reason people wake up at that point is their body is hot because their mattress is heating up throughout the entirety of the night. That's where the 8 sleep comes in, and for me, that's where it solved my issue. I did not think that this thing would actually stop me from waking up in the middle of the night like I have been, and I really was pretty skeptical, but it did for me, and that is awesome, which it makes sense because even in pretty much any mattress I get, what happens is when I wake up, I notice I'm pretty hot. I kick my comforter off, and then I wait until I almost cool back down. So my issue, of course yours could be different, generally is going to be a temperature related one, and this is going to be the ultimate solution to that, and then even more, because what's really, really cool about this is when you wake up in the morning, the 8 sleep, you can set the time that the 8 sleep wakes you up. Most people, when they wake up, their alarm is going off. It's disturbing and it makes the waking up process really, really rough. If you ever wake up right from stage 3 or right out of REM, you're gonna feel really groggy. We all know what those mornings are like, and the 8 sleep has you covered here as well because it has a couple of different ways to gently wake you up. For me, I have the 8 sleep warm up to about a +3 throughout my morning. So as I get closer and closer to when I'm supposed to wake up, the bed is warming me up. Because of that, my body is transitioning slowly back up to a higher level of sleep, like stage 1 or stage 2. And then when I wake up, I'm already ready to go. I just feel ready for the day. At the very end of that, one thing that's also really nice is there is a vibration function that the 8 sleep does that also will kick you up. So if the temperature's not doing it, say that you're just really, really knocked out, the vibration will, and it's just a really nice, gentle way to wake up that doesn't really disturb your circadian rhythm. And beyond that, make sure that you don't feel groggy in the mornings. It's honestly, guys, it's life-changing. I am so happy I have it, but there's a few things to not be happy about at all, and we'll dive into that. One, the sloshing noise that I had to begin with, not very good. Glad that's gone. Easy fix there. But the other kick in the teeth, beyond the price point that you have to pay up front, is unfortunately the 8 Sleep has a subscription. Yeah, you heard me right. This thing has a subscription, and I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna lose most of the benefits if you're not paying for that subscription. First and foremost, this thing, beyond everything that we've already talked about, there is a full sleep tracker system inside of it. It gives you all your biometric data. It gives you a sleep score. It really helps coach you and guide you to getting a better night's sleep. Now for me, that's kind of neither here nor there, because the fact of the matter is, this is already giving me pretty much perfect sleep every single night. So the metrics are not super important, but if I was having an issue, it would really help me dial it in. Two, the bigger thing that you lose is the automatic temperature adjustment, and that really sucks, because that is super important. And the reason why is, as your body goes through those different stages of sleep, you might need a different temperature throughout the night. What I mean is, if you set this to -2 to first cool you down, which by the way, you want to drop your core body temperature by about 2 degrees to fall asleep. That's what this is going to do for you. But you don't want to stay that cool. You really don't. And if you stay that cool the entirety of the night, you're going to have the issue of waking up when you finish that first sleep cycle because you're too cold. So because of that, the temperature has to bump up a little bit. And then again, to wake up, you're gonna want the temperature to go higher again. To get those benefits, you have to have the subscription. Not only that, but you also lose the vibration alarm as well, which sounds silly at first, but I'm gonna tell you again, that's a lifesaver as well, because it's a capstone to everything. Now, they do have another tier to their subscription, which is absurd if you ask me, but really the only benefit you're getting there is a 2-year warranty on the base subscription versus a 5-year warranty on the higher level subscription. Now, the base subscription, it is $15 a month, and I'm gonna tell you, it's basically essential for this product, and that really sucks. I'm really upset about that. I remember a few years ago, a certain car manufacturer tried to charge a subscription for use of heated seats that were already installed in the vehicle. That had massive backlash, and I wish they would have some here too, because the features that they are actually cutting out are significant and basically make this a product that is not worth the price of admission. It puts us in a really weird spot, because not only do you have to pay over $2,000 to get the 8 Sleep, and that's a lot, so that's a huge negative for me, but beyond that, you have to pay $15 every single month for the rest of eternity, and don't even get me started if this goes out within the first 2 or 3 years. Of course, I have the base subscription, so I'm covered for 2 years, but say in 3 years it goes out, am I gonna have to shell out another $2,500 to get this or more by that point? It's upsetting, because it's like having the best thing that you possibly could for your sleep, but then also not having the certainty that you're taken care of, basically. Like, I'm a little anxious if this thing goes out. That's a lot of money, and that really sucks. And it puts the value question really difficult to answer. This product is amazing. For me, it's really been life-changing, but I had a problem. I was waking up in the middle of the night almost every single night because I was sleeping too hot. If you're already sleeping good, this is definitely not worth your money. This will solve a problem for a certain select group of people. For other people, it's not really worth it. It's expensive. One thing that's really cool is if you sleep with a partner in the mattress, this actually is split right down the middle, so each of you can have your own individual channels of whether you want it hot, whether you want it cold, what time you want it to wake you up. That is phenomenal. It's super cool. So going back to how I mentioned, you feel that grid. One thing I did try one night is I actually took a mattress topper that I reviewed, the Moonpod cloud cover. You can check a link to it in the description below. We'll pop a card right up here for you. I put that over the 8 Sleep, so now I didn't feel the channel at all, and then I slept. I wanted to see how this worked. Now, the effect of the cooling was significantly reduced, but turning that down even more pulled the heat away and really created the perfect scenario. The only reason I don't have it on top of this mattress right now is because I wanted to pull everything off so you could just see the 8 Sleep and it looks better for YouTube. But beyond that, adding that topper over onto this was the ultimate solution. So closing thoughts. Who is the 8 Sleep for? Well, the 8 Sleep is for anybody who's gonna have a major issue in terms of temperature. Are you waking up way too hot? Are you waking up way too cold? My partner, she likes to sleep really hot in the mattress. She hasn't tried this, but she has a million blankets every single night, whereas I'm a one comforter kind of guy. And having the 8 Sleep in that split, I imagine we're gonna see if that works, and I wish we could test it right now, but right now she's out of state, so we haven't even really looked into it, for full disclosure. But having that split temperature is going to be awesome because we're both gonna get exactly what we need in a mattress. I've tried other cooling mattresses before, and she's tried them as well, and it's been, it's too cold, I don't like it. And then I'm on the other side thinking, oh my gosh, this is great. Whereas mattresses that sleep hot, she loves them, I can't stand them. This solves both of our problems, lets us continue to have the same mattress, and keeps us both really, really happy. So that's really cool. So this is going to be a great pick for anybody who sleeps in the mattress with a partner and has a very different temperature preference from their partner. Beyond that, if you have any kind of issues that are waking you up throughout the entirety of the night, generally heat related, of course, that's the whole point of this product. That's really the biggest point of this product. This is gonna absolutely solve your issue. It is though a really, really expensive bullet to bite, and that makes it really hard to recommend. At the price point that it's at, and then the subscription on top of it, really does make me hesitant, and I'm pretty darn torn. This thing is awesome, and it really has helped my sleep a lot, but also I feel that pain every single month at $15, and that is difficult. So for you, if the money is not really a concern at all, then go ahead, definitely get this. If you're sleeping hot, this will be a game changer for you. It absolutely will be. I have no qualms about that. This is the absolute best temperature regulation accessory that you can get on the market. This beats out BedJet. It beats out ChiliPad. It is phenomenal. It is quiet. It is sleek. This is kind of the magnum opus of where technology meets sleep. It's all right here. This thing is phenomenal. It also demands that price point, and that is really, really difficult. If they removed the subscription and gave me back most of my features, it would be pretty easy to recommend to anybody who's having temperature regulation issues and has continued to have those. But I can't see a world in where they're going to remove that subscription, unfortunately. I can't. And the reason being is that this is a company backed by venture capitalists, and they want to see continued month-over-month cash flow. And this is how 8 Sleep is going to continue to function. So that makes it difficult, because here's the other thing. What if I love the 8 Sleep? What if you watch this video, you buy the 8 Sleep, you pay your subscription, and you know, the 15, not a big deal. There's nothing stopping them from saying, sorry, but we're gonna have to raise the subscription price from 15 a month to 39 a month, or even more. It's unknown. They don't even have a promise of keeping that subscription the same. At the very least, please, 8 Sleep, give us a guarantee on a subscription lock for 3 or 5 years, something to give me a little bit of peace of mind, because if I'm going to accept that there is a subscription, I sure as heck don't want it to go up, because that is more frustrating, because this is a product that once you buy into, you're not gonna cancel the subscription, and they're gonna know that. So would I recommend the 8 Sleep overall? For the majority of people, no, I wouldn't. This thing is really expensive. You're tied to a subscription that you need to keep paying for to actually get the benefits that you paid for in the beginning anyway. So for most people, no, I would not recommend this product. However, for a select few, people who are like me, who wake up in the middle of the night, who sleep hot, who sleep way too cold, anybody who has issues that are persistent and consistent and that they cannot solve elsewhere, the 8 Sleep is going to be the answer to those issues. And I firmly believe that a good night's sleep is what sets you up for a great life of success. If you don't have that, you're gonna have major issues. And that statement is not just me saying it as a sleep expert here on YouTube, that's backed by science. If you're having poor sleep night after night after night because of temperature issues, this is a solution for you. It's gonna give you better sleep, and it's really, really hard, if not impossible, to put a price on all the benefits that you're gonna get going from really poor quality sleep to really great sleep. Now, for those of you who sit in the middle, hey, I don't sleep great, but I don't sleep terrible either. Maybe first explore some less expensive options. And if that does not get solved at those first steps, the 8 Sleep, it's probably gonna solve your problems. Anyway, my name is Ethan. Thank you for watching this video. If you wanna learn more about the product, we do have a link directly to 8 Sleep below. We do receive a small commission if you choose to purchase this product. However, this review was in no way, shape, or form influenced by 8 Sleep. Our thoughts and opinions are our own, and we strive to give you unbiased reviews every single time here at Sleepline. Thank you again for watching this review, and we'll see you in the next video.